Hi, my name is Heidi Billings. I'm here with my co-host,
Rose Dixon,
and our special guest, Angela Asse. Today on You Are Beauty, we are very excited.
Yes.
Angela is our very first guest.
Awesome.
So we thank her for coming on.
Yes.
You know, April is Financial Literacy Month, ladies. And, you know, I was reading a study, and it said that women are not as good as savers as men.
Wow.
That we don't save as well as men. So, ladies, we got to get our money game
That's
on.
right.
And
get it together.
Angela's going to help us. Angela has a background in chemical engineering. She was $100,000 in debt at the age of 23 and was able to pay that debt off. So she knows something about financial literacy and getting your financial house in order. So today, our topic of Make Sense of Your Money, we're here with Angela Asse, and she's going to help us out and give us a few pointers. Angela's originally from Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, but here in Atlanta, Georgia, along with myself and my co-host Rose. So we want to get started because we know our time goes so fast. Angela, what is, you know, we hear this term financial literacy all the time. And I know for a while I didn't even understand what it meant. So tell our viewers, what is financial literacy?
Yes. I think if you Google the word financial literacy, you would find it described as understanding how money works in the world. Knowing how to earn it, manage it, build it, invest it. We all need that. And all those terms are absolutely on point. But I think what I want people to take away from understanding what financial literacy is that, to me, financial literacy is the difference between freedom and slavery.
Wow.
It is the difference between living in peace versus living in fear. It is the difference between being empowered versus being disabled. And that is what financial literacy is to me.
That is great because, you know, here at You Are Beauty, one of our main missions is to empower, to inspire, to engage women. And so everything that we do on this show, we want to do that for our viewers. And so, you know, this is so important.
Yes, so important. Good tools here. I have a question also. What would you say to someone who says that they cannot save?
That's a good question. I would probably respond with this question. If you had your milestone birthday, say you were turning 40 years old, and your significant other didn't get you a gift, didn't take you to dinner, no flowers, not even a card, but their reason was, I just didn't have the money, what would your response be to that?
I would be upset.
I would be hot. I'd be hot.
It's my birthday.
It's okay, 40th birthday, the 40th birthday. You talking about my boo didn't give me nothing? No.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely.
And I think most of us would probably respond like, I know you got something. Not even a card, flowers, nothing. And what I tell people is that you find money for what is important to you.
That's true.
If it's important to you, you'll find money. I give an example of, I don't think most people realize that, for example, just to make a cup of coffee at home, it costs about 20 cents.
Wow.
So you can make a cup of coffee at home for 20 cents, or you could go to $5. That's where your money goes.
Right.
You can make a decision to eat out of lunch, go, you know, make lunch at home, bring it into work 3 times a week, or you could go out to lunch 3 times a week. We actually do have the money. It's actually not about how much you make.
Gotcha.
It's about how you spend it and how you use it.
Yeah. So we can't use that excuse that we don't have it.
You don't have it. We do.
That's so
awesome. This is some good tools.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome because, you know, I think I have heard people say if you think about all of the money you've made over your lifetime, you're already a millionaire.
You are.
Yeah. You've been a millionaire already, you didn't even know it. You know, so this is so important because I know I have been guilty of that $5 cup of coffee.
Yes, $5.
You know, and when you think about it, like you're saying, you know, you start adding that up over time. I mean, just in 5 days, that's $25. So that is, you know, something to think about, ladies, because again, you know, we're not you know, the men have got us beat on the saving game and saving for retirement. So we really have to get our acts together. Another question, Angela, what does a credit score, and I know so many people, especially, you know, this is April, we're going into June, this is going to be the season where people are, you know, going to be refinancing, they're going to be looking for homes. So I know this is going to be very helpful. What does a credit score tell a potential creditor?
Pretty much, I define your credit score is a number that is calculated based on information in your credit report. And your credit report is pretty much your financial resume. Okay, I like to describe it as your financial resume. So imagine your financial resume says how many times you're late. Okay.
Wow.
How many times you spent out over your limit, right? It tells them, you know, how you're using your credit. And so what's important about your credit score that, you know, captures this information, it pretty much tells a creditor if you're a high risk client or a low risk client, right? And so a person, and just I'll actually share with you something that happened to me the other day. When you are a high risk client, you have higher interest rates, less options. And I personally think poor service, poor customer service.
Wow, I never thought of that.
But when you have a good credit score and you're considered a low risk client, hey, you have lower interest rates, higher options. I mean, creditors are falling over themselves to give you credit, and you have better customer service. And I'm going to share with you something that actually happened to me the other day. I have 2 credit cards with the same company. One credit card I've had for about 15 years. A lot of people have this card. It's a very common card. I got it about 15, 17 years ago. And when I every time I call them, you know, you have to enter in your last 4 digits of your credit card number, press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this, press 4, you know, and probably 3 minutes later, you finally get a customer service rep. Okay? Now, I have another card that I got about 7 years ago. I actually pay an annual fee on that card, but it's an actual exclusive card. When I call that number, good afternoon, Miss Angela Asse, how can I help you? I have an instant customer service rep at my disposal. And I said, wait, was that by accident? Because I've never called them before. So I did it again. And each time, I got a personal person speaking to me on the phone. And it's just, it is a difference when your credit score is high versus your credit score is low. So it's important for you to do whatever you can to actually increase your credit score. Yeah.
That is really, really awesome. You know, I knew about the interest rate impacting you in terms of your credit score being impacted by your interest rate and how lenders want to lend you money based on that. But I never thought about it in terms of customer service impacting the type of customer service you get. So that's really, really, really interesting, you know. And what kind of, just if you can give 1 or 2 things to say in terms of how can, if I needed to get my credit score, you know, in a better position.
Standard.
What should we do? I think I would say there's 3 things that you could do to really help with your credit score. Number 1, if anything is past due, you know, the more something stays past due, the worse the more hits it takes on your credit score. So being 30 days past due, that's going to lower your credit score. When it goes to 60 days, it lowers it again. 90 days, lowers it again. So I would always say definitely the importance of paying your bills on time, because even if it happens one time, your creditor will report it, and it will be on your credit report that you were late last month. It doesn't matter if you've been on time all the other 12 months, they will report it that you've been late. So being on time with your payments, that is number 1. Number 2 is how much of your credit that you use. Okay? Now some people, and it's hard for some people to understand this part, but if you are maxing out your credit cards, okay, you are telling your creditor that, this person likes to spend and spend a lot. Now for most creditors, that's actually a good thing when you're spending, but it actually tells them that you might be a little bit irresponsible. You might be impulsive. We need to be careful about her.
Right.
So I would say, like, even if you have your 1 or 2 or 3 credit cards, make sure you're not maxing them out.
To the max.
Okay? I would say make sure that you're maybe using no more than 1/3 of whatever your credit limit is, for
Good
sure.
tip. Great tip.
Yes, great tip. And since you talk about credit cards, how many do you think we should have? What is the minimum?
I don't think there's a magic number to a credit card, actually. I think the biggest thing is if you could pay off your monthly balance. You could have one credit card, like I just said. You could have one credit card, but that credit card is maxed out and you can't pay it. You could have 3 credit cards, 10 credit cards, but if you pay them all every month, you're fine. I think it's really based on how much you can manage. I think ideally having one credit card at least is good to have. It's great as an emergency purposes. Maybe 2 as a backup. I don't think having more than that is necessary, but you know, I personally have more. I only probably use 2 of them, but I always pay off my entire balance. So it's really about being able to manage your money. Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. So, you know, no minimum, but in terms of what can you manage, that's the question you have to answer.
How can you manage?
You know, how well a manager are you?
Absolutely.
And again, we're talking to Angela Asse. She paid off $100,000 in credit card debt. She said at the age of 23 years old.
Student loans.
Student
No
loans.
student loans.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they get you.
She came out, I know, from personal experience, I know.
Yes.
And she was able to pay off $100,000 in student loan debt. I'm like, maybe she needs to write a book because you know that is a big, hot topic, even in terms of, you know, our financial economy with so many people coming out of college and having so many student loans and not being able to find a job and having to, you know, they're saying not to veer off, but I think this is good because so many people are having to live back at home longer because they're in such financial debt in terms of student loans. So we're talking to, you know, a woman who was able to overcome that. So this is really, really great.
Awesome.
And we kind of went over this, but can you give, if there were more keys, now you talked about being able to manage what you have in terms of credit cards. You talked about paying real simple. I know it sounds simple. Paying those bills on time. Paying those bills on time. Sometimes it is difficult.
It's difficult.
But in terms of our financial health, what other things would you say would help our viewers?
I definitely think having a starter emergency fund is huge. And I think that's the first thing anyone should do actually is have a starter emergency fund of about $1,000. And I say that is because it's a known fact that we are typically $250 to $500 away from a financial crisis. It literally, and it's not a $10,000 thing that really trips us up. It's not. It's not. It's typically, oh my gosh, I have a flat tire. I need new tires. The check engine light is on. Now you need a new transmission. Oh my gosh, the plumbing went out. I need to get that done. Oh my gosh, I dropped my phone. That's happened to me. Okay, and now you need a new phone. And even if you have insurance on your phone, you need $100 to turn it in. I mean,
so true.
It's these what I call little steps, these little issues that happen that end up snowballing into something more. Because what ends up happening is, for example, you need new tires because you don't have any money saved. You pay for the tires because you need to get to work. But now you're late on your rent. Now you're late on another bill. So then you got charged a fee on the bill. So now you're late on your rent. You're late on 2 other bills. They've been reported to the credit agency. Your credit went down. You have more fees on top of fees. That $200 issue became a $1,000 crisis for you. And next thing you know, it takes 2-3 years just for you to clean that up. So I tell people all the time, take the time to make a decision whether you want a cup of coffee at home or $5. That's and
you can't get no simpler than that.
It's very simple, and like I said, it's really the small decisions that you make. And I love the point that you made about women, because I think I talked about you in other conversations later. Guys, Yeah, there's a reason why they're not buying you that gift that you want.
Right.
You know, taking you out to that restaurant that you keep saying you want to go to, because they're trying to save
Save
their
their
money.
money. Save their money.
Okay? They're trying to save their money.
Yes.
And of course, we as women, we want to show up and show out. Honey, this is what I did for you. I
Yes.
threw you this 40th
Okay.
party. You in,
Right.
and you in debt. You
Yes.
know, and so the thing is that we have to just be mindful of, we could still do all the things we want. Our nails could look great,
Yeah,
our
right.
hair could look great, but we don't have to get that done every week.
Right.
You know, we don't have to
Right.
get that done every other
Right.
week.
That's right.
It's just kind of doing the same thing, but kind of just minimizing your expenses, you know,
Yes.
and just reducing your expenses. The other thing I would say, a crucial tip, is definitely your budget, getting a budget. I know this is hard for some people. I'm a math person. I
That's
love
right,
working in
numbers.
Excel spreadsheets. I love numbers. But the thing is that there's a great quote that says, if you fail to plan,
You
plan to fail.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, and if you don't plan out how you're going to pay your bills, that's exactly what's going to
Yes,
happen.
that's true.
You're going to trip yourself
so
up
true.
because of, again, you didn't. A lot of times I've worked with people, they end up having $200-300 just in non-sufficient fund fees
Oh my God.
because they just didn't plan how their bills would get paid. When
Wow.
they had the money, it's just a matter of timing
Right.
when
That's
that
right.
bill went against their account. But that is just not planning, you
Yeah.
know. But once I was able to say, you know, and I like to tell people, set it and forget it. You know,
I like
set
that.
it,
Set it and
set it and forget it.
That's
You know what I
good.
mean? Automatically have the money taken
Yeah.
out
Set
and
it
put it
and
into
forget
your savings account. You know,
I
Yes.
like that.
just set it and forget it. You
Set
know,
it and forget
have
it.
your bills automatically coming out of your account, and that's why I sometimes tell people it might be good to have what I call your bill account. This is an account where all
Just
your
a-
bills go against. You don't
Good
ever
idea.
withdraw from that account. You just know that all your bills come out of that account, and then all the extra money could go into a separate account. You know, the things that kind of might change from week to week, like your groceries or eating out. But
Yes.
your bill account
Wow.
never
That's
gets
good.
touched. So that's what I would say.
That is
That's
good.
awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. I have a question as well. What key features should I look for when I'm shopping around for a checking or a savings account?
Talking about those NSFBs.
That's what I was about to say.
That's
Yes.
a good question.
Great follow up. No, I would definitely say, I think if people have heard about, like, you know, where's a good place to buy a home, people say location, location, location.
Right.
When it comes to checking and savings, it's fees, fees, fees.
Yes.
And I will say this, there are banks that will charge you a monthly maintenance fee,
Wow.
accounts. They're charging you to, you know, to actually use your money, okay? They charge you to withdraw your money. I mean, this is your money.
Right.
But they're constantly charging you all types of fees just in terms of using your own money. And this is why I tell people, like one of my friends that I've been working with on her situation, she was getting charged a $12 monthly fee. She was getting charged, $35 for each non-sufficient fund fee, and she was getting charged for, which ATM she's using and all these different things. So
Wow.
literally, most of her money was going toward fees. Like and that's what she would say. You know, a lot of times people say was, I don't know where my money went. It went to the bank. It went to the bank. And so I tell people is that I don't know if you've ever seen those commercials for prescription drugs, and they said, you see some couple holding hands, drinking wine, use this drug is great, and at the end it's like, may cause heart attack, high blood pressure, or death. Consult with your doctor.
Right.
That's how banks do.
So we don't read the fine print.
We don't read the fine print of what the fees are. So I would definitely say, look at the fees.
Okay, good.
That is awesome. I mean,
Yes.
and I love that you said in terms of saving, set it and forget it. That is so
That
good
is
because you know what?
automatic.
I'm sitting here thinking about that, and it's true. It's like when you don't realize it, when you don't miss it.
You don't miss
Right.
it.
You don't miss it when
about
it's gone. Well, you know what? We are running out of time, but this is so good,
Yes, it
Angela.
was.
I mean, this
Awesome.
information was awesome.
Yes.
Remember, pay your bills on time.
Yes.
Ladies, that's the only way we're going to be able to start
That's
saving.
right.
We got to pay our bills on time.
Yes.
We've got to work on, and I love that she didn't say 6 months of savings, but she said if we can get to that $1,000, because $1,000 is much easier to save than 6 months
That's
salary.
right.
You know, and if we can cut back in these little areas, she gave awesome tips.
Yes.
You know, I love nails and hair and all that, but
Mhm.
you know, we can minimize. We can do this. I know we can do this.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, we're running out of time, but Angela, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
You know, I
Thank you.
hope we'll be able to bring her
Bring her
back
on
because the
again.
time was
Anytime.
so short, but I know she has
Yes.
so much more that she can give us.
Yes.
So thank you again,
No
viewers.
problem.
We thank you here at You Are Beauty. We hope that this has added value to you,
Yes.
that it has made sense of your money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.